Some sections who are usually up in arms against any form of communal speech are unnaturally silent in the case of Akbaruddin Owasi. We here at Times Now have decided to take up this issue. Let's call a spade a spade. Swapan Dasgupta, senior journalist and columnist, Balbir Punj, Rajya Sabha MP of the BJP, and Rakesh Sinha, who is a member of the RSS, are with us tonight. Kamal Farooqi, National Secretary of the Samajwadi Party, Dr. Zafrul Islam Khan, President of the All India Majlis-e-Mushawarat, and Maulana Maqsoodul Hasan Kazmi, Chairman of the All India Imam Council. And Dr. Mazhar Hussain from Hyderabad is Director of the Confederation of Voluntary Associations, has taken a strong position on this. Dr. Khan is joining us in some time. Swapan Dasgupta, may I begin by asking you, this whole Akbaruddin Owaisi video, you must have seen it, I don't know. It's on the social media. Aren't you even surprised it even exists on the social media now? But so many things are banned on Twitter so quickly. This is not.
See, Arnab, I can't speak about the ethics which govern the social media, but having seen this very long speech, one thing is very clear. You know, this corresponds to a particular type of politics which the MIM has been advocating for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Maybe what he did was he exceeded the bounds. You know, there are some things which they put in a veil of ambiguity, etc. He crossed those. He was speaking to an audience in Adilabad, which is outside his constituency. And what he did was, when he went into rhetorical flourishes, attacking Narendra Modi, etc., now that's part of the game, that's part of the political game. I have no problems with that because it exists on all sides. What I think really he did was, firstly, his separation of his community from the Hindustanis, number one. Number two, his open incitement that we are few in numbers, but we can take on the rest, number two. Number three, hurling abuse on certain cherished symbols, institutions, practices of Hinduism. You might not subscribe to it, but that doesn't give you the right to hurl ridicule at them. But what really I thought was frightening was not merely Akbaruddin's speech itself, but the ecstatic response which greeted it. To my mind, that was frightening because obviously there is a constituency which likes this form of hateful speech, and he catered to that. So it's completely in order. We have to decide whether the rules of politics allow you to make this. If it doesn't, the action should not have come from a private individual. It should have come from the state of Andhra Pradesh.
Exactly.
But for various reasons, they have chosen to be squeamish about it.
Why?
And I think we all know the reasons.
Why are they being squeamish about it?
I think
the Andhra government should have had taken action suo moto and filed a criminal case against him instead of waiting for a private citizen to file a complaint.
Arnab, since you're being blunt, let me be equally blunt. I think there exists a certain amount of misplaced belief in a section of society which says that communalism by definition can only be Hindu communalism, that there exists no other communalism. Here we see a hateful speech which is comparable to any form, I mean by any standards you can use, even by the most liberal definition. This was a hate speech. And if the government chooses to turn the other way, to turn a blind eye to it, I can only say that its motives are really suspect.
Is there such an assumption, Kamal Farooqi, that communalism can only be by the majority community? For example, let me remind you, Mr. Kamal Farooqi, of your party's great tolerance of one of your Maharashtra leaders, I think the president of your Maharashtra unit. He was convicted of provocative speech made in 2000 when he was an MLA, and there were references to the partition of India, etc. Again, I don't want to repeat what was said at that point of time. But you were very tolerant of what Abu Azmi was allegedly believed to have said, which also amounted to promoting enmity between different groups on religions of caste.
No,
and religion.
Let me make a very straight and let me make a very straight and blunt statement that I, being a Muslim, must have I'm very clear about it, that my religion does not teach me at all to have a hate for anybody's religion, their books, their leaders. And a Muslim is not supposed to speak all those kind of things.
Now, what about what Abu Azmi said?
Amazed what Supan
What
Bhai
about
is saying.
Abu Azmi?
No, but let me complete. That is already been decided, and it's a court case that has been decided against Abu Azim Saab. Now, this particular case also, the law should take its own course. But I'm surprised when Sapan Bhai is talking only about in this language that the only Hindus, he's trying to communalize the whole thing by saying that this kind of hate speech is only among the Hindus or not among the Muslims. It could be on both the sides, and we have seen it in the past that the people who have been pathetic and who have been on the extreme right side, they have been making all kind of provocative statement against another religion, their religious places and their books, etc. So it's very common, in fact, in India, and the time has come when whether it is a Hindu communalism or the Muslim communalism,
Faruqi,
it has to be
Mr.
dealt
Faruqi,
with
would you
very,
accept?
very
Mr.
strong
Faruqi,
hand.
would you
And
accept?
had it been done,
Would you accept? No, would you accept?
Yeah,
I'm sorry to interrupt. Would you accept that in the case of Akbaruddin Owasi, would you accept that in the case of Akbaruddin Owasi, political parties and political leaders like yourself have had to be goaded, cajoled, and pushed by the media to come out and condemn it? The kind of spontaneous condemnation that happened in the case of Varun Gandhi was missing in this case.
Arnab, why are you talking about one political party? But we are across the line. You have seen
across the line.
BJP, we have seen the Shiv Sena, we have seen all other parties. So let us not try to name any particular political party. We have seen it even in the Congress. Congress has sometimes they played the whole thing soft. We have seen it now. I would not like to digress the whole thing, but we have seen it. What has happened in the case of the
is there a convenient? No, 1 second. Swapan Das Gupta's point is about a convenient hypocrisy. No, we must accept this point. Is there a convenient hypocrisy among political parties to be a little soft when the communalism comes from someone close to you or politically flexible to you? For example, there are some parties today who hopefully may be thinking in the future we might be doing an alliance with the MIM. So let's just keep quiet about it and give some kind of a, one line, okay, we are not in agreement kind of response. Let's not do anything to rock the boat. To rock the boat.
Absolutely, whosoever is doing like this, it's not in our national interest, and it has to be condemned by everybody. It must be, because we cannot afford to have these kind of things, whether it is a Hindu communalism or the Muslim communalism or anybody else communalism. It is not acceptable to my secular country.
I'd like to get in at this stage. I think Balbir Punj wanted to come in. Balbir Punj, there are a lot of references made to Varun Gandhi. Now, I am not going to go into degrees of how communal Varun Gandhi's speech was versus how communal Akbaruddin was, who gets more marks in being more communal. The point is, at that point of time, BJP really, including you, Mr. Balbir Punj, you just came out and defended Varun Gandhi, and there was this sense of hurt. How can you question poor 29-year-old Varun? The tapes must have been doctored.
Well, that was the defense which Varun Gandhi put out, and he had the benefit of doubt. If the man who we claim has made such a statement, and if he's denying having made so, then you have to give him the benefit of doubt. In this case, I don't know the reaction of Mr. Owasi, because whatever has appeared on the social media, and that seems to be authentic. I believe the statement was made somewhere on December 24th, and today we are on January 2. So more than a week has passed, and he had all the time in the world to clarify his position. He hasn't done it. He hasn't denied it. And let me tell you, Arnab, I'm not worried about what this man said. I'm more worried that more than 50,000 people, that is a sort of a crowd that appears to be on the social media website, that was seen to be cheering him and hailing him when he made all these
supporting.
Yes, who were hailing him when he made statements against
during the
Indian army,
demolition and
all them,
they have been making all kind of provocative statements.
Important
he was not talking about all those kind of things.
Let him complete. I'll come to you, Mr. Faruqi. Show me, I'll give everyone more than their time on Newshour tonight. Just let everyone have their say. Yes.
What is worrying is that Mr. Owasi has a constituency which shares that perception, which shares that sentiment of hate, and that is the most worrying part. And the second worrying part is that in
are you trying to stereotype now? Are you, by saying that, are you stereotyping a community? Mr. Owaisi, Mr. Punj, Mr. Punj,
including the electronic media. But in Mr. Owasi's case, so far, I must compliment Times Now and I must compliment you, Mr. Arnab Goswami, for having taken up, because there appeared to be a conspiracy of silence by the secularists.
No, there is no conspiracy.
No,
there is no conspiracy.
And pretending as if nothing has
No, there is no conspiracy, let me assure you. No, sir, one second.
There was a conspiracy.
No, sir, no, that's not true.
You might find another term, but the fact is that from 24th till date, Times Now is the first channel which has taken the courage to take up
because
issue.
Yes, and I'll tell you, because
compliment Times Now for taking this initiative.
Sir, I'll tell you one thing. It's been taken cognizance of by courts. One. B, sir, I would like to humbly point out that viewers will remember we were the only channel in the Varun Gandhi tape also. We did not carry what he said. And we will not carry what Akbaruddin Owasi said. Because we don't want to be their vehicle. But the question is this. That when Praveen Togadia, and I'm not meaning this to be provocative, I'm coming to Mr. Kazmi, I'm coming to you. My question is, Rakesh Sinha, you see, provocation of any form from any side is unacceptable. It divides my country. Praveen Togadia says, in an address November 2011, some 25 kilometers back, from Ahmedabad, it was enough now. And if the need arises, it is time to show the world the strength and power of Hindus. He cited the example of Godhra and said it was united and gives a feeling of oneness to the Hindus of the state. So, Mr. Rakesh Sinha, please understand. I know that you will speak a lot against Akbaruddin Owaisi. I want to know whether you will have the courage to speak against Praveen Togadia first. Are Praveen Togadia and Akbaruddin Owaisi two sides of the same coin or not? And will you begin by addressing the Praveen Togadia issue first, head on?